Before we dive in, a big thanks to our sponsor, Marpa Minds, a network of next-generation mental health clinics offering ketamine and Spravato treatments for depression. Go to marpaminds.com for more info. How does Spravato work? Spravato, also known as esketamine, represents a significant shift in depression treatment, offering rapid relief for those who have found little success with traditional medications and therapies. By addressing the underlying neural disruptions of depression, Spravato not only alleviates symptoms, but also empowers individuals to reclaim their lives with renewed emotional and psychological flexibility. Spravato disrupts the disruption of depression. And how exactly it works, we're not 100% clear yet, but we definitely know already that much of that benefit comes from Spravato's impact on the glutamate system of the brain. And this is fundamentally different to how traditional SSRIs work on the serotonin system. Spravato sets off an entire cascade of unique reactions in the brain's receptors and neurotransmitters. Imagine your brain as a bustling city, but when you are feeling depressed, that city loses its vibrant energy. In here, endless blocks of buildings and roads where the buildings function like neurons, with people coming in and going out all the time. And the roads function like synapses, with cars and buses moving rapidly along the vast intricate network. And in a healthy brain, traffic flows smoothly, allowing for efficient communication and self-regulation, always towards homeostasis, stability. In depression, chronic stress, negative emotions can lead to those road networks getting blocked up and the buildings becoming so dilapidated that no one goes in or out anymore. The neurons of our brain get weaker, the synapses communicate less with each other. And then over time, this diminished connectivity results in entire neighborhoods of our brain becoming disconnected from each other. These neural networks stop communicating and their usual wiring together becomes weaker and weaker, especially for people with treatment-resistant depression and major depressive disorder, which is exactly what Spravato is best at treating. So that's why for these types of more severe, long-term depression, conventional antidepressants don't work, as they were only designed to fix a chemical imbalance by targeting a single minor neurotransmitter system, serotonin. But as more and more research is now showing, depression is not caused by a lack of serotonin. It's much more complicated than that. Spravato is different in that it targets the brain's glutamate system, and because glutamate accounts for over 90% of the synaptic connections in the human brain, it means that Spravato's benefits are spread further and wider throughout the brain, not just serotonin. Glutamate is involved in learning, memory, neuroplasticity, and virtually all our brain activity. And ideally, glutamate works in tandem with the brain's second most common neurotransmitter, GABA. And between the two of them, they keep balance and order in the force in the brain. Glutamate is excitatory, whereas GABA is inhibitory. And let's go back to our bustling city brain again. When glutamate neurotransmitters are being activated, it's like the green traffic lights are on. Traffic speeds up, it's getting busier, and new roads, neural connections are being built in our brain. When GABA neurotransmitters are activated, it's more like a red light. Traffic slows down, stimulation cools, and the construction projects in our brain get tied up with red tape. Spravato actually activates glutamate indirectly. Spravato is what's called an NMDA antagonist, which means that it directly blocks NMDA on GABAergic neurons. Basically means that there's less red light from GABA being released. Less GABA equals less inhibition of glutamatergic neurons that release glutamate neurotransmitters. Without the usual braking and balancing effects of GABA, there's a massive uptick in glutamate release, especially in key brain areas like the prefrontal cortex. This increased glutamate then stimulates AMPA receptors to increase synaptic activity in the central nervous system. Glutamate also stimulates BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which we are now understanding to be very important cause and cure of depression. BDNF we can think of as a brain fertilizer, as it increases how fast your neurons regenerate or reborn, as well as how quickly neurons grow and repair themselves. So this uptick in glutamate and subsequently of BDNF results in remarkable boosts to your neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is brain's ability to adapt and rewire itself by forming new neural connections. Neuroplasticity is impacted by our social and biological experiences, by our thoughts, and changes in our environment, and yes, also medications we take. Neuroplasticity is a fundamental neurological process that determines whether our learning, our memory, our emotional flexibility is healthy or not. And in depression, neuroplasticity neuroplasticity is impaired. Brain becomes rigid with reduced growth and communication between key brain regions. It's like the city has become abandoned. But with Spravato treatment, the city comes back to life as neuroplasticity flushes out the brain and restarts its growth and interconnectivity. Spravato is administered as a series of treatments over a number of weeks and months. It means the effects build up over time, typically starting with 2 treatments a week for the first month, then weekly treatments for the next couple of months. Everything we said before about glutamate release, BDNF, neuroplasticity, all of this is happening in a cumulative and compounding way, enabling really significant neural rewiring in a relatively short period of time. And because Spravato is a nasal spray, instead of a dissolving tablet, it enters the brain directly and rapidly through the olfactory bulbs and tract rather than going through the digestive system like traditional antidepressants. Spravato is a ketamine nasal spray that has been awarded breakthrough therapy status by the FDA to treat depression. It works in a fundamentally different way than traditional antidepressants. While SSRIs target serotonin, Spravato jumpstarts the brain's vast glutamate system, which, remember, is responsible for over 90% of your neural connections. This then activates a cascade of antidepressant brain activity that rapidly restores communication across key brain networks, and it increases neuronal growth and neuroplasticity, especially through increased BDNF. Spravato then helps that depressed brain come back to life, giving that person a new chance to make their life meaningful again. Thanks again for watching, and thanks to our sponsor, Marpa Minds, a network of next-generation mental health clinics offering Spravato and ketamine treatment for depression. Go to marpaminds.com for more information. This media production is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional, medical, mental health, or legal advice. If you need support, please consult a qualified professional. And we do not encourage or condone illegal activities. Please educate yourself on the laws in your region and consult a medical professional before making any health-related decisions.